What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dog Talk West Virginia. I am your host, Shane Raines, and of course, right here on Dog Talk, cover everything bass fishing in and around West Virginia. And of course, it's Sunday night, 8 p.m., your live, unscripted episode. We were off last weekend, crazy busy weekend, but tonight we've got your 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia College State Champions will be joining us via video chat. And that would be, of course, 𝙇𝙬𝙎 and Chase Arkell coming on. They're standing by. So stay tuned to hear about how they won the 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia State Championship on the 𝙀𝙁 River. Here we go. And come check y'all out.
Well, we're one of my favorite places. Conversation with is one of the greats and what this office said. I'm Shane Raines. I'll talk with him.
So, fall transit.
Ticket. Hopefully this goes on a replica out of that 20.
Welcome to your live coverage.
At 8 pounds with the current right up there.
See how it shakes out.
That's it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your live, unscripted number 6. We're already 6 episodes of live unscripted in. Exciting episode tonight. We have 𝙇𝙬𝙎 and Chase Arkell on the line standing by. Your 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia College State Champions. These two guys grinded it out, came out on top. And will be one of many college teams heading down to the Bass Nation College Series Championship on Harris Chain of Lakes. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's episode. Like I said, I am your host, Shane Raines, right here on Dog Talk. We cover everything bass fishing in and around West Virginia. Hopefully, you've been tuning in, and if you are a new viewer, thank you. Thank you for your time this evening. What is Live Unscripted? Live Unscripted is basically a live interview type show for you. Nothing has been rehearsed. We bring on a guest, talk fishing. That's what each and every one of us do. Me and my fishing buddies, along with you and your fishing buddies. We all just like to talk fishing. We like to have a good time. So this is what it's going to be about. 𝙀𝙁 River. This happened just last weekend. August 23rd on the 𝙀𝙁 River, junior, high school, and college state championship for Bass Nation of West Virginia. Qualifying anglers to go to the respective national championship, including the junior teams, high school, and college teams. So very excited to have this episode, bring them on. If you did fish this event, please tune in. Share this with your friends. If you're just tuning in, right there at the bottom of this page, of this live feed has a share button. All you got to do is hit that share button, share now, and all of your friends will be able to follow along in the action tonight. So Marshall University came out on top, of course, for the 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia College State Championship. We're going to bring them on here in just a few minutes, but hopefully you've had a wonderful weekend. Had a lot of rain move through in spots. I know in and around Charleston area, we lucked out this weekend. Not too much rain. A little bit of heavier rain, spotty. But past that, the waters are muddy. I know there were some tournaments canceled. I'm sure some anglers were a little upset for last-minute cancellations. But when you have that much rain move through an area, you have to take safety in consideration. So for the ones that had to cancel a tournament, I hate that for you all. Hopefully you'll be able to make up that tournament. For the ones that did get a tournament, and I know on the Ohio River, Ohio River Buddy Trail took 10-plus pounds to win. We'll cover all that and more, of course, in your weekly recap episode. But tonight, it's all about your live unscripted event. And without further ado, let's work on bringing the guys in, and we're going to kind of dive into everything, the state championship for this year. Let's see. For everyone tuning in, of course, a quick shout-out, Greg Tony. Thanks, brother. You're always tuning in. Joe Wiseman had a junior team out there, did a ton of pre-fishing with his team, so I know he's excited to kind of dive into this. Ken Hackworth, President, Bass Nation, West Virginia. Thanks for joining us. Annette Haley, John T. Coleman Jr., thanks for joining us. Dallas Miller, and, of course, Kimberly Richmond, thanks for joining in tonight. Awesome. And we did some changes to the software, so as you can see, we can now feature a comment. So Dallas Miller, congrats to them all. Great job. Awesome, Dallas. Thanks for that comment. But without further ado, let's actually, before we do that, let me give you a quick reminder on the giveaway 2K page like giveaway. 2,000 page likes. We're very close. We're actually just outside of 400 page likes due to make this happen. Help us make this happen. Share it with your friends. Ask your friends to like Dog Talk West Virginia. Of course, go to that pin post at the top of the page. Comment, pick me. The instructions are right there. And, of course, a list from all these wonderful partners of these awesome prizes. They've donated to give out in support of the page and, of course, in support of all the anglers and the viewers. So very excited to be able to offer that up. But without further ado, let's kind of get right to the action. Give me 1 second here. And welcome your 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia College State Champions. What's up, guys? Mr. Evan Haley and Chase. Oh, crap. Let me get everything up. Sorry, buddy. Chase Arkell, welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for joining us. And just a quick shout-out. Congratulations on your all's win. How y'all feeling, man?
We did, and it's a pretty good story.
Evan, I'm sorry, brother. I kind of cut you out there on your audio, man. You got to forgive me there, but how you feeling, dude? Sorry, I know I cut you out. How you feeling after that big win? I know you all worked really hard.
Yeah. Glad to be back on the show and tell you guys how we won. It's a pretty good story, and just what all we did.
Yeah, man. Chase, how you feeling, brother? I know you all have had a week to kind of let it sink in a little bit. You all know the caliber of anglers that you all were competing against at the state championship, trying to qualify for the national championship. How's it feeling, dude? How's that first week? Has it set in?
It's set in a little bit more. It was kind of surreal at first to think that we're going to get to go down to Harris Chain and fish against some of the best anglers our age in the world. But it feels good, man. It's exciting. The Canal River fish is tough this time of year, and we're just happy to get a win off of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's insane how tough that river does fish. So let's rewind a little bit for the folks at home that don't realize. August 23rd, your junior, like I mentioned earlier, junior, high school, and college state championship. I believe there was real close to 50-plus boats, somewhere around that range. A lot of anglers out there trying to compete in their respective division, trying to qualify, of course, for nationals is the overall goal, representing Bass Nation of West Virginia. So, guys, give me a breakdown. We know it was on the Canal River. Give us a little bit of a breakdown on one, pre-fishing. How many days did you get to go out and pre-fish, and what did you all find? What did you all find pre-fishing? And let's go from there. I mean, we all know how tough the canal can be.
Yeah. Well, I am from Scott Depot, so I'm literally 10 minutes from the Nitro boat ramp. So I fish Nitro a lot. A lot of people probably found them like I did. I did find them in grass, just touching on the grass mats on the bank. Found fish, nothing special. Obviously, there's not a lot of size, but I found fish. And then me and Chase did pre-fishing together Friday and Saturday. Tournament was on Sunday. And I wanted to switch it up a little bit, so we went up Charleston because I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything up there. Because I thought it was going to be one in Nitro or the locks, the Marmet locks, which I talked to guys and they did really good up there. So, but I thought it was going to be packed, and I do have a small boat, so I didn't think I was going to make it there before other guys. But I did quite a bit of pre-fishing. I didn't think I had the winning pattern, but I did catch fish. I will say I did catch fish. I took Chase Arkell when I went up to Charleston, and he probably was not excited because we went up Charleston and maybe he caught 2 or 3 fish. But he can explain that.
Well, yeah. I mean, so Chase, break it down for us just a little bit. We all pre-fish a lot differently, and this is something about the live unscripted episodes and the shows to where my goal is always to kind of dive in a little bit. Not everyone is willing to share information. Luckily, this tournament, there's really not a lot going on here the rest of the year. So the goal is to always for us to grow as anglers. But so break that down, you all. And for the ones at home that don't realize this, that Canal River pool, which would be considered the Winfield pool, which runs from Winfield Locks downriver up to Marmet Locks. And that is the upper stretch of that pool. It is, of course, known for smallmouth. The further upriver you go, like a lot of fisheries, especially river fisheries with lock and dam systems. And, of course, the lower in the pool you go, you start finding a little more concentrated population of spotted bass and, of course, largemouth. Chase, when you run up Charleston, how much time have you spent up there personally and catching the fish you were pre-fishing? Give me your thoughts after pre-fishing in and around Charleston.
Yeah, so personally, I've spent a good bit of time fishing up there. I know there's big smallmouth around the capital certain times of the year, but I didn't really figure they'd be there this time of year. So Evan had that kind of a pattern going on grass. He was flipping into it, so I figured that if he was doing that, I'd try and figure out if we could get any bite on a reaction type deal. So I started throwing chatterbait or spinnerbait. I threw a deep crankbait too. I caught a couple fish on the spinnerbait, a couple fish deep cranking off the bank.
Jerkbait.
Yeah, jerkbait even.
Really?
I was really just throwing. Yeah, I was throwing a bunch of reaction baits, trying to get that reaction bite going. And honestly, like pre-fishing was nothing exciting, man. We got bites. It's like Evan said, like nothing that would win the tournament if it would have happened that day. But Charleston wasn't fishing great.
Yeah, man. I mean, but here's the thing. For the folks at home that don't realize, and I'll fill you in on this, the rule was no size limit.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah. I mean, and that's something I want to ask you all. Typically, we're used to a 12-inch size minimum limit, 10-inch minimum limit, some river tournaments. And it kind of depends on how the fishing has been. We see some trails and organizations back off that a little bit. Did it change your all strategy any? For example, you go out and pre-fish a few days, you get on a little bit of a grass bite, you're catching some random fish cranking, and or a moving bait, a reaction type bait. And we're talking water temps on the Canal River easily drop close to 10 degrees. The water temps were 85 plus degrees, right around that range, a lot of July and into August. And we started getting those cool nights. And the water temps we found in that 77, 78 degree range on the main river. Did you all find a water temperature that fit you all best? Was it anywhere you all kind of went? You all were kind of catching fish here and there. Give us a little breakdown on the size limit, how that changed how you prepared for that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a
It's-
little
it's funny
breakdown
that
on
you
what you
mentioned-
drew from the pre-fishing experience.
It's funny that you mentioned the size limit would change how you pre-fish, because uh, once I found out there was no size limit, I have a small boat that it goes 40 max.
Right,
And that's like half tank of gas, a couple rods, 40 mile an hour. So my first thought was we were boat number 3. So my first thought was run up the elk and see if we can catch just 5 dinks, 5 small ones to get a limit real quick. So that's not where I wanted to fish most of the day, but I thought maybe we could go up there and catch a few small ones. So that's why we went up to Charleston pre-fish and realized that wasn't going to be an easy task to go catch 5 small ones up Elk River. So that kind of scratched that idea. I think from what I could tell, the water temperature in the Charleston pool, I think, was a little cooler than it was in Nitro. I know you went down to Nitro, and I don't know if you noticed that, but I think down towards Nitro it was warmer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think we found that for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if that played in it. I don't know. I think anyone that fished a tournament knew they were pulling a lot of water from our Met on the morning of the tournament. So I think that had more to do with it than the water temperature, for sure.
Yeah. And that's something. If you fish this event and you're tuning in tonight, drop a comment. Let us know what do you think about that current they were pulling on tournament day? Because I know for us on Friday, we only pre-fish Friday. We focused a lot of our attention downriver. Noticed a fairly solid topwater bite. And like you all were saying, with no size limit and knowing how tough it's been on the canal for this event, I think you have to really adjust and think, okay, no size limit. As bad as it sounds, an 8, 9, 10-inch fish can make the difference in filling a limit and potentially moving on or jumping up a spot or what have you. I know for us, guys weighed in 3-1. Really didn't want to comment on this at all because I don't want to bash it. Man, they fished so hard, but they had opportunities looking back for 11 3/4-inch fish that were pushing a pound. Chunky spots, they really had a chance to potentially catch what they needed to move on, even with those smaller fish. 100% agree on the current. They were pulling so much current. When we put in at Daniel Boone, it was rocking, and that definitely affects a lot of stuff. So where did you all decide to start after pre-fishing downriver, Nitro area, knowing that area? Finding some a little bit warmer water downriver. As we know, the further downriver you go, that current kind of subsides just a little bit compared to way upriver on Charleston. A lot narrower in that area. So, I mean, what was your all's thoughts going in tournament morning? Your plan kicking off, Chase?
So Saturday when we were pre-fishing, we hit Charleston again to see if we missed anything, and our good buddy Chase called us and he said they're getting a lot of bites in Nitro, basically just to scrap Charleston because it was fishing terrible for us. And we
I was really hoping that Charleston was going to fish bad, because I knew in my mind I wanted to fish Nitro, but I just wanted to make sure Charleston wasn't going to be it. And it's funny because me and Chase has fished a lot of tournaments together all through college. We fished together, and it always seems like we'll pre-fish, we'll catch a good amount of fish pre-fishing, and we'll think this is what we're going to do in tournament, and then tournament rolls around, and there's a huge storm roll in or something, and it just throws our pre-fishing out the door. And it changed Sunday morning with them pulling the water. We had that rain Saturday night, so they started pulling water. And I got nervous because I thought the elk was going to muddy up, because I know it can muddy up in a blink of an eye. So I thought there was going to be 50 boats stuck between the Elk River and Marmet Lock. I thought it was going to muddy up bad, but it changed for the eventually changed for the good for us. That current helped us.
Yeah.
But the funny story is we ended up deciding we were going to run to Nitro. So
Yeah.
we ran from Daniel Boone, obviously, and down to Nitro, which was a good, in my boat, probably 30-minute ride.
Yeah, easily. You're talking real close to,
Yeah.
I mean, you're pushing real close to 25 or so miles, easy.
Yeah. And the winning strat, or the way we caught our limit quick, was actually the Nitro boat ramp.
Really?
There was,
Yeah.
I swear, there was the Tyler Kincaid tournament the day before.
Yeah.
And I was keeping up the results and seeing how the Nitro pool was fishing, and then they're still, I remember looking at the results, and like the biggest fish was like 2.2 or something.
Yeah.
So I knew I wasn't going to catch any size or the winning fish there, but I knew I'd catch a limit, because they have a Wednesday nighter there, and I fished the Thursday after, and I know where those fish will get released. And I know where they'll hold.
Yeah.
So we raced down there, and I thought someone was going to have the same idea. And our buddy Chase Hanson ran down there. He obviously beat us, but he fished it he fished it fast. Like he was doing the same topwater bite that you mentioned, and he fished it fast. And I slowed down, and I could probably tell you just about every log within 100 yards of that boat ramp, about 10 foot under. And we hit that hard I bet we didn't lose sight of the boat ramp for 3 hours that morning.
Wow.
And we caught a limit there. And then we started working our way down, and I wanted to hit the grass mats that I found that were holding fish. And I think we got a few bites. I don't even remember catching any fish in the grass, because I think that current put them deeper.
Yeah.
And Chase will tell you how we caught the other fish on a little deeper.
Yeah, we kind of lucked out. We found there's a lot of rocky banks on the canal, and I feel like a lot of them fish the same. And I think we found one that's a little bit different, where the rock comes out into 10 or 15 foot of water. So we were catching our fish flipping and basically dragging a Z-crawl real slow.
Very slow. Like if you couldn't like feel every tick of the rock, I mean, you weren't going slow enough for some reason. That's just what we found.
I mean, you're literally almost borderline dead sticking that bait.
Yeah, basically. But
I mean, we talking a Z-crawl. You flipping a Texas rig Z-crawl on that deeper rock, or are we talking on a jig, or what we talking?
But
it was Texas rig.
Yeah, at the Nitro boat ramp, Texas rig, and I was throwing just like a 3/8 ounce tungsten on a flipping hook, and we were just dragging it across. And that's how I thought I think what was really key was going slow. And if we would have went through there one time and said, you know what, Chase even said, because Chase seen some fish one side of the ramp, and Chase Arkell said, you just want to skip this and go on. They fished it. I said, no, I know there's fish here. I want to focus on it. So we slowed down, and then it was like boom. And then we go back and boom, one more. So we caught that limit.
And not to interrupt you, but that's something I know myself as a tournament angler. And I fished with so many different people over the years, on and off, for tournaments, buddies, and just diehard fishermen that I've kind of hooked up with to fish a tournament. And you kind of run a spot where you know that there's some fish holding, and it's so easy to get discouraged knowing someone just fished that. In the summertime, in the extreme early springtime, or even extreme late fall time, it seems like, when that bite's a little bit tougher, you can easily come in and target a specific area that someone else has already fished. Fish it a little bit different, maybe target specific rock or deep cover, and pick off more fish because they're just so tight to that cover. Obviously, that's proof of that. For you all, what about you all found that though, and I did. I watched Chase's video, and a shout out to him, Chase Sansom.
Yeah.
He had some unfortunate events happen, kind of busted up the lower unit pretty bad on tournament day. Put in a couple months of work, so shout out to Chase.
Yeah.
We hate that for him, but he's just as pumped for his teammates, which I love seeing that. That's what it's all about. But we saw him in that video. We'll just say that I watched him catch fish. That makes sense for what you are talking about tonight.
Yeah.
So what about the grass bite, though? I mean, you all had to back off a little bit. What about that pre-fishing grass bite? We see grass on the Kanawha River is somewhat fairly shallow right now. Later in the year, a lot like the Ohio and the Mon. Later in the year, water's been clear throughout the year. You got plenty of opportunity for that grass to grow. We're starting to see that grass grow out a little bit deeper. I mean, were you all finding those fish on the edge of that grass? Were you finding it deep in that grass? Give us a breakdown a little bit on that grass bite.
The grass bite I found pre-fishing, I would catch them in it. There'd be some stretches that were better than others.
Yeah.
I did notice that I'd flip in the grass. There'd be times I'd just pump it 1 or 2 times, but I noticed they kept following it. So I think you're right. They were definitely on the edge or even deeper from it. But on tournament day, I think that current pushed them out of that. I think it pushed them a little deeper. And then that's where we found that, we found a little rock pile. It was probably in 12 to 15 foot of water.
Yeah.
And that same deal, Face actually, he got a bite, or he thought he did, and he flipped it in there again, let it just, like you said, almost dead stick it, just pull it, and then reel a few times, and then pull it, and he got bit again, but he I don't even know if he set the hook, and he said throw it in there, because I had a different color Z-crawl. That's all I threw all day, by the way. I picked up a buzz bait 4 or 5 times, didn't get bit, and I'm like, I just stuck to the Z-crawl all day.
So full committed on a Z-crawl junior, full commit all day. Chase, same for you. Were you just? Obviously we all have a topwater on our hand, whether it be a popper, whether it be a walking bait or a plopper, what have you, buzz bait. Was that the same story, Chase? Did you all just throw a flipping bait in the hand and just go to work? Just as many casts as you can make.
Man, you'd be shocked at how many casts we made, even though we were fishing so slow.
The amount of tungsten I went through in 3 weeks is just, I would like to have that back, to be honest.
Not to interrupt you all, but for the ones we didn't even hit on this yet, but you all weighed 430. That's what I thought. 430. I think the second place team was somewhere around 380, 390 ish.
Yeah.
They had 4/10 of an ounce or 4/10 of a pound win over that, but that just proves that when the bite is extremely tough, that's what you can make happen. Middle of the day, I think this is a decision that a lot of anglers face that doesn't get talked about a lot. You get through your morning plan. For us, it was spot hop from Charleston down to our water downriver. We were the same way. I think the boys would be okay with me sharing this. We found some active fish really feeding on top. Found some active bait balls in and around certain areas. Could have been creek mouse in a few areas, flats and so forth, rock. But, of course, wood wasn't out of the question. It was very sporadic on pre-fishing day on Friday. So we kind of bounced down the river and tried to get a reaction bite, and it wasn't happening. So for you all, what was the decision point? I know, Evan, you said you threw a buzz bait a little bit in the morning, but, and everyone's different, but where did you all decide on tournament day to say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we found pre-fishing. This is one of the hardest decisions an angler has to face, and it is, When do I stop that active bite, that buzz bait, that crankbait, or what have you, and really slow down for the bite that we know is working at the time? I mean, Chase, can you fill us in on your all's thought process, or how long do you fish for that topwater bite before on that tournament day you all said, hey man, ain't working?
Man, I'll tell you what, we had a limit before 9:30, and
wow, wonderful.
we had called twice by 11:30, and after that we didn't get another bite, dude.
Not a bite the whole day.
No kidding. I mean, so you all caught your fish before 11:30.
Early.
No,
We had all 5 of our fish before noon.
Wow.
And
wow.
Thinking back, when we were sitting at the boat ramp or fishing around there, I put the bow of my boat, the trolling motor, towards the current and was working the trolling motor forward. Chase Sampson made fun of me. He said, he faced forward, but we were literally fishing backwards most of the day because the current was pulling. It was pushing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were before blast off, everyone was downriver before we blasted off because the current was pulling everyone. So once that current stopped pulling, and we even talked to other guys that it slowed down super fast around 11 noon. And I think it was that current.
Yeah. And that's tough when you get into the middle of a day, can't get a bite or struggling to get bit. Even you all fishing out deep. For all the anglers watching, first and foremost, thanks for joining us. This is, if you're just joining, we've got Evan Haley and Chase Arkell, your 2020 Bass Nation West Virginia College State champions, fishing for Marshall University Bass Fishing Team. And we're just kind of discussing their championship win, what they had to do to make fish bite. But we're kind of covering at this point a little bit midday, what you do to try to get a bite. And like you all both just said, kind of didn't have a bite after 11:30. For the ones at home and you all as well, I know my guys, they missed a couple fish that were key, very key fish, unfortunately. And that was that early morning bite when we were kind of spot hopping down. Middle of the day, sun comes up. I know. Can you all agree with this, that we had a lot of overcast days leading up to this tournament? Overcast, very little current, and then we got hit with heavy current, pulling a ton of current, whether it be, I know Marmet was rolling pretty good, and there were some fish caught up that way. And we'll kind of get to that here in the next couple of weeks or so, because they're going to try to get some of these other teams, the high school and junior teams, kind of chit-chat a little bit. But, hey, quick shout-out from Chase Sansom. He said, my boys, what's up? And, of course, Chase, you see his shirt I'm rocking. No hate to Marshall. I love Marshall University. Anything in and around West Virginia I'm a fan of. But, I'll rock a Marshall University bass fishing tee right now. So, man, I'm representing. Thanks for joining us, buddy. But, man, guys, they found fish. We kind of had a run up in the backwaters. I'll take this opportunity to kind of give you a little bit of insight on what we did second half of the day. For No Limit, where can we go to catch fish with No Limit? And it's like, man, we can run in the backwater. It's been pounded. Let's start skipping baits as far back in there as we can in the shade, and maybe we can get a few bites. They had those bites. So if you all could go back and maybe thinking about your tournament, you all obviously weighed enough to finish on top. That's awesome. You did enough to make it happen. Let's break down in your all's mind. I know you all had the conversation, but what would you have done differently? What would you have done differently when the bite died off? Evan, I mean, do you have any insight? Did you have this conversation with Chase?
I don't know if we were so excited for winning. I don't even know if we always have this conversation when we lose. Is, man, what could we have done differently?
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
But thinking back, if I had to change something, it would have been in pre-fishing and find deeper rock or just deeper structure, because knowing now that current was pulling through, and I think it moved them deeper and willing to bite.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, when it's overcast or the pre-fishing we did have going forward, I found this fish, not quality, but I found fish shallower in the grass and a little bit of timber, not much timber. So if I had to change, I'd go back and pre-fish differently. So uh, I could have fished deeper points during the tournament, because that's where we had two crucial calls on that deep rock.
Yeah.
That's why we won, is because of that rock pile. We caught a limit near the nitro ramp, but the two calls on that deeper rock, and I think quality fish was there. I don't know a lot of deep spots on the river. I
Well,
don't know if that's it.
Yeah.
I just don't know any.
well, I mean, Chase and Evan, let's be honest, the Canal River, we set out and just graphed it for a couple of days just to see. You get around Charleston, you see a lot of stuff off in that 12 to 16 foot range, 12 to 15 foot range
Yeah.
on that first drop. But let's be honest, tons of current, debris, wood, a lot of things gets pushed down the river, and it kind of gets grabbed right in that range a lot of times. It's somewhat of a bowl. Other than that, I know, and there is word that a good buddy of mine reached out to me, just to kind of tell you all too, to everyone watching as well, was guy spends a lot of time on the Tennessee River chain, comes up to the canal, doesn't get a fish. This is his hometown. Gets out on what would be considered a ledge. I mean, where is that on the canal? I'll never know, but and kind of deep cranked. We're talking like a DT20. We're talking like a DT16.
Yeah.
Even on that kind of silty bank, and supposedly caught some fish. Now, all the viewers at home, I know what you're thinking. Holy crap. Okay, we all fish this for years, and we're talking guys with 30 plus years, 40 plus years of experience on the canal. And is it possible? I guess so. If you found just one piece of cover, a rock pile out there on a specific spot, could you load up on 3-pounders? I mean, maybe. It's hard to find out there because everything gets so silted in. This is mainly for flood control. We all know how much water comes down this river. It's hard to find or even commit to that kind of bite. This isn't a 60-foot drop like the Tennessee River chain, so where you have literally a vertical drop. But you all pieced it together. What about the bite? Something that I think a lot of us can learn from. And I know I kind of rambled on there a little bit, and I'll give you all both an opportunity to comment on this, because every angler has a different perspective, in my opinion, as far as, how you like to rig a bait, how you like to work a bait, what the bite feels like to you. So give me an example, Evan, and then Chase, I'll go to you. You make those casts out to that deeper rock pile. When that bite's extremely light, what are you looking for? What is the technique maybe you're using? I know you're throwing you said a Z crawl, so you're just crawling a small creature like crawls type bait out there in 12 foot of water. What's the bite feel like in the summertime for you all on that day?
That specific scenario on that rock pile, I will give credit to Chase. He found it, I guess accidentally, but he did find it, and we knew there was a rock pile because we throw it out there and let it drag, and I think it was hitting that silt. Like, there would just feel like nothing. You just drag it, and like you wouldn't even know if your bait's on the bottom because it didn't even feel like anything. And then you'd hit into a little. We think it was rock. It was on a rock bank, debris or whatever it may be. It'd go over that rock, and you just feel it go over, and then it'd almost be like a free fall for a second. And that's when Chase, you can, however you think, but I think that's when they were kicking it. They weren't hitting it hard, but you could they swim off a little bit and we set the hook, but it was just slow, and then you just feel feel everything. I think that made a difference. It's a little
Yeah,
harder.
man.
You can feel it better. Just slow, and then they take it on that rock pile.
Yeah, man.
Record.
And that's a tough bite to
It is.
detect. I mean, are you all? You said 3/8 ounce tungsten, flipping a little Z crawl. What's your preference, Chase? And I'll get to you here in just a second. Not to mean to kind of cut you off, buddy, but I mean, what is your preference, Evan, when you're throwing that kind of bait? I mean, I'm assuming a casting rig. Man, give us a little bit of a breakdown on what's comfortable for you, because everyone's different and there's not a right or wrong answer to it. You know, are you a spinning reel guy? I mean, are you throwing this on ultralight tackle to get those bites? Are you picking up a casting rig, maybe dragging around with 10, 12-pound test? Give us a breakdown.
I had 2 rods on the deck, or maybe, I don't know if they're on the deck, but I had 2 rods rigged out because I with rain Saturday evening, I thought it would muddy it more than it did. It was perfect, but it didn't really blow it out. I had 30-pound bait, 3/8 ounce tungsten, medium heavy rod. I can't remember the gear ratio. It's probably like 6/8, maybe a little faster, nothing crazy. And my other setup, I had like 15-pound fluoro, and same deal, 3/8 ounce tungsten. I did have different color. I had a natural color crawl with a fluoro if it wasn't as muddy. And then on the, if I could get away from braid, I had I think the black and blue one. And I think I was throwing the natural color most of the day, and then I think you was that black and blue, that June bug, when I wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I don't think it's too specific. I did have a heavier duty with 4.0 and all that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes and this is just personal experience, and this is what I think a lot of anglers can kind of take a step back and reassess maybe how they approach some situations is, just because all 3 of us may want to go out and get on a little bit of a Texas rig bite. But if you're throwing 8-pound tests on a spinning rod with the 8-ounce, slip sinker, bullet style, whatever the case may be, whatever you like, it could be even a drop shot rig, which is, technically, I mean, very similar presentation other than the bait's up off the bottom just a little bit. But I think we all can learn from those experiences, even with line size. Line size plays key a lot of times. You can make up the line size and the approach you're trying to make with the rod a lot of times. I think that's something that a lot of people look over. But that is huge insight. Chase, what about the bite for you? I know you kind of hit on that deeper bite first, kind of noticing that bite out deep on those rock piles. I mean, would you relate it to what Evan was saying? Kind of just a mushy bite. You're dragging to do that soft bottom, and those fish would just pick it up.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's like Evan said, you couldn't even tell you were on the bottom because I guess it's just that silt, and you drag it along until you felt structure. And when you hit that structure, you try and fish it even slower than you were before. And I'm sure y'all know whenever you're fishing real slow around structure like that, you can feel some weird stuff down there. So when it gets to the point of differentiating a bite from just bouncing off structure or something, it's I don't know, you get like a feels match with it. And usually they weren't biting real hard, like Evan said, so I was usually making the right judgment call. And I definitely know I swung and missed a few times.
Hey, so here's the deal. I fished with a guy, Buddy Trail. I'm going to throw his name out there. First Buddy Trail I ever fished, Ron Riggs. And he always said, hook sets are free. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Dude, worst case scenario, you jam a 50-cent hook into a $1 hook into a tree, what have you. Of course, we don't like leaving that kind of stuff down in the water, but hook sets are free. If you feel a bite, if you feel something mushy, if you think it's a bite, set that hook. I mean, set the hook.
Especially on tournament day.
Oh, dude, on tournament day, I'm telling you. And I think that comes with experience. If you're just tuning in and kind of follow along, like I said, we got Evan Haley and Chase Arkell on. your 2020 Bass Nation West Virginia College champions for Marshall University. A lot of other teams very, very close, but we're just kind of talking about their win on the 𝐾𝑠 River. 𝐾𝑠 River is an extremely tough fishery. We're kind of talking about some of the bites, some of the baits used, and so forth. So thanks for joining us. Make sure to share this video right down at the bottom of this live feed on your left. So, but yeah, guys, I 100% agree with you. You got to be able to detect that bite, especially in summertime temps when that bite's extremely tough. You get that current blowing through. We found the same thing. Those fish pulled off that extremely shallow cover or those shallow rock piles or what have you. We just didn't see those fish setting up like we did one Friday. Guys, you are the 2020, though. I mean, you all broke down pretty much everything for us. You are the 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia. West Virginia, all of the state champions this year. Man, how's it feel? I mean, as anglers, you are fishing against Chase Sampson, Tyler Drown. You're fishing against WVU University. I mean, we know the Nolan Miner,
There's some good guys there.
Casey Lanier. I mean, you all know the caliber of anglers that you're fishing against to try to earn this qualification spot. COVID-19 hit us hard, screwed up all plans and all tournaments for a lot of folks. Yeah. Evan, I'll give you kind of the floor a little bit. What's it feel like, though, when you kind of piece together your plan starting out for tournament day and it comes together, even if it's a half a pound, quarter pound, 1 ounce, and you come out on top of these anglers, how's it feel, man?
Well, I knew going into it. I told my dad and Chase that it's pretty on the 𝐾𝑠 River. It's anyone's game.
Yep.
No one, to my knowledge, I don't think anyone has a honey hole spot or just a winning thing. Like, it's no question. So I knew it was anyone's game. So it gave me hope. I knew that if we pieced together a few things, that I think it could work out. And I kind of knew my plan. I told Chase before I want to run down to Nitro and hit the boat ramp at the release fish. I think we can at least get a limit, which on the 𝐾𝑠 River, I know there was no size on it, but having a limit to start really would be good.
Yeah.
And it came together, and it's kind of the first time it's all came together and like that. So it's good to finally feel something that comes together when you think of it before. And I know every tournament angler thinks of 1,000 different ways it could go before, but the way I had pictured it, it went through somehow. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, you go out there, you set a plan. I found personally over the last few months, if you set a plan and kind of stick to it, it's obviously going to either work out or it's not. But I think if you got a much better percentage, if you go out and pre-fish, if you only get one day, it is what it is. And I think you almost have to either fish off of memory, off of past spots, and hope for just luck, or fish off of what you found on that day. It sounds like you all fished off of what you found. Try to make the best of it. Chase, I mean, to come out as the state champions this year, know the caliber of anglers that you fished against in this tournament, competing against, to come out on top, heading to Harris Chain here in just end of October heading down Harris Chain.
Yeah.
How you feeling, brother?
It feels good, man. I'll be honest. It was reassuring to know that Nolan and Casey were already qualified, so that if they got first, then it would whoever got second was going to go either way.
Dude, those dudes can catch
great
fish.
Anglers,
they are hammers.
They can catch fish, man. They're great.
So yeah, man.
So yeah,
I mean,
like I said, it was reassuring to go out there knowing that if they beat us, we can still get second win.
Yeah. And basically, you all will be going down to the Harris Chain of Lakes. representing Bass Nation of West Virginia. I think that's always super special and cool to be able to qualify through kind of the way the program and the system is designed to allow opportunities to anglers, whether it be college, junior, high school, kayak, adult. It gives us an opportunity to stay close to home, fish waters that we're familiar with, come out on top and fish at a national level. And guys, I'm sure you know what's on the line at the Harris Chain. End of October. I think it 29th through the 31st. Somebody's going to walk away with the Bassmaster Classic spot as a collegiate angler. I mean, that's crazy to think that you all fish Canal River, qualify for this event, heading to Harris Chain, tons of grass, a lot of offshore potential bites, potentially up shallow fish, which would be probably more what we're accustomed to.
Definitely.
Guys, y'all got to feel pumped up. And this is just a quick little shout out, not to interrupt what we got going on, but John Cooper, my boy's first junior tournament. He says we love it. Guys, before we get into a little bit of Marshall Trail stuff, Harris Chain stuff, guys, give a shout out. Let the folks at home know what it means to be able to compete at a collegiate level, the opportunities available at the junior and high school level, and I guess in your experience, share why it would be important for younger generation folks to get involved. Evan, I'll start with you, brother.
I mean, I think it's obviously a great program. I didn't high school bass fish, junior. I was into bass fishing, but I didn't do it, and I really wish I did. And I think all the high school anglers, especially, have a lot to look forward. I mean, there was over, I don't know the exact, there was probably close to 40 high school voters out there. So there's obviously a lot coming into college. Hopefully they stay in state or even come to Marshall. But I think they have a lot to look forward to. And it's the college programs, whether you go through FLW or Bass, there's so much you can do with it. Obviously, if you're good and you see them go pro through these college programs, I think you just can't beat it. It's just from bass fishing perspective, it's a great program.
Yeah. Chase, I mean, what do you think, man? Compared to your experience, kind of growing up fishing these events, here you are going to be representing the state of West Virginia. Your message to the youth anglers, man.
I mean, my message to them is that they have such a great opportunity in front of them as compared to like when we were young. This stuff was not going on when we were young.
No,
even
it
when
was not.
Even when I was in high school, Winfield High School didn't even have a bass team when I was there. So I think they're super lucky to have these opportunities to be able to fish events like this young and get this kind of experience this young. And I wouldn't take it for granted because as you get older, this experience is probably going to help them more than they think it will. Anytime you can get on the water and fish in tournaments like this and know what it's like to fish under pressure, I think is going to help you. So I think they're really lucky and they shouldn't take it for granted. And if they're enjoying it, they should keep at it because the opportunities are it's really opening up. The sport's growing a lot. And I just say stick with it.
Yeah, man. I 100% agree with you. You're seeing scholarships, full ride scholarships offered to some collegiate athletes now, including bass fishing. Some schools really adopt a bass fishing program. Bethel University, Murray State University.
Adrian.
I mean, that's just to name a couple. There's obviously a ton out there. So we're really seeing some colleges step up and man, there's tons of opportunity out there. Harris Chain of Lakes, what y'all's thought? And this is a quick shout out to all the viewers tonight as well. Shout out to all the viewers. Chase, Chase threw out DT20 bigger than the fish. We know it was definitely tough out there. An 8-inch fish could have made the difference, and a DT20 is right about there. But moving forward, heading to the Harris Chain, any angler, we got a ton of anglers in and around our state that's familiar with these waters, that's got the opportunity to go fish, whether it be a BNC, Bass Nation Championship, could be at the collegiate level. Reach out to our anglers. Reach out to Evan and Chase. I saw Dustin Dennis reached out, offering up some waypoints and some insight. Look at Bassmaster rules. We don't want to infringe on any potential disqualification by helping these guys out, but let's see what's allowed. Help these guys out. They're representing West Virginia. They're representing all of us down at the college national championship. Evan, Chase, guys, thanks for joining me, man. Extremely excited to have you all on and break down that bite.
It's been a pleasure, man.
I think a lot of people can learn from that. But give us a breakdown on what's coming up the rest of the year. COVID's finally tapering off enough to where we're allowed to have tournaments over the last few months. What's up for Marshall University Bass Fishing Trail? You want to give us an update?
Oh, yeah. So the first thing is, a lot of you guys probably follow on Facebook. We just announced there is one rule change, and we didn't want to change rules, but we do think it is better for the trail that we're doing and all the tournaments. So the new rule change is you only have to fish one trail event to qualify for the Cup. We did this so everyone has a chance to do the Cup and just make it bigger. That'll help us, especially now that we're going to Florida for over a week. So that'll definitely help us. So I think that's a game changer because you pretty much get the two tournaments for one. So that'll be a big deal. As far as the tournaments coming up, we have one on Summersville on September 13th, and that is actually the weekend before the big Trail Dreams Summersville tournament. So if you want to know what Summersville's like and how they're catching them, come to our tournament the weekend before, and hopefully you'll find out. The next one we have is actually over in Kentucky, Yatesville. It's on September 19th, and then Sutton on October 10th. So come to any of those. Those are the regular season trail events, and if you come to those, then you qualify for the Cup, which is on Summersville, November 7th. So that's getting into the good time in Summersville. Last year we had the Cup there. I mean, you can ask anyone that fished the Cup last year. I think it was a great time, a great opportunity. A lot of good anglers come to it, and not only from West Virginia, they're from Kentucky too. So it's a good opportunity, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Get out, support the club. All these funds raised, that very small portion that they keep goes directly to the club to help fund them. If you feel led, if you're a business, if you're just another angler out there want to help support Marshall University Bass Fishing Team, Evan and Chase, reach down there to the Harris Chain, help them out on their journey, reach out to them. I'm sure that they've got a way to be able to donate. Reach out to those folks. Let's help them get there. That's our responsibility as anglers in the community to help them get to their goal. That is national champion. And guys, we're going to be rooting for y'all. I mean, we're going to be rooting for y'all. Get out, support the trail coming up here very, very soon. But Evan, Chase, we got some batteries kind of dying out on us, go figure. But I want to give you all both a quick opportunity to say a few thanks to the ones that you may want to thank before we let you all go.
I want to say thanks to Chase. He's the one that's been fishing with me. He's been a great co-angler. We've both been net guys. I've netted a bunch of his fish. He's netted a bunch of mine. So that, and from a team perspective, there's been a lot of people help us. Like Great Outdoors, Dutch Miller, Richwood, FYAO, you at Dog Talk, Shane, you've helped us and advertised a lot for us. Uh, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of people. Tackle box, um, but just being on teams a great opportunity, and I couldn't think of a better team to be on.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Chase, any quick shout outs, brother?
I mean, it's similar to what he said. I shout out to Evan himself for having me as his partner. We've been fishing together for about 3 years now, and we've had some great times together. Shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to the whole team, Marshall University, everybody who helped make this possible. We're gonna do our best to get on there to Florida and sack them up.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I will say one thing before we get off is when me and Arkell first started fishing tournament college, we set the goal. We wanted to go one national championship, whether it was
Yeah.
FLW, Bass, whatever it was. We just wanted to get there to experience it, and it's pretty awesome that we get to do that. And thanks to everyone that's been involved.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
excited for the
yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And best of luck, and we'll be following up with you all coming up very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
On your national championship shot coming up real soon. So thank you all for joining us, and we will catch you all on the next round, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Awesome, man. Thank
Hopefully
you.
it's good.
Yeah, guys. We'll catch up with you all at the national championship.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, congrats again, guys, and we'll catch up soon.
Yep.
See ya. All right, guys. Here you go. That was your Bass Nation of West Virginia 2020 Collegiate State Champions, Chase Arkell and Evan Haley. We lost the battery tonight, so you're just hearing my audio. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. For all of you wishing these anglers good luck, thank you. If you feel led to do so, reach out to this team. Let's see if we can't come together as a community of anglers and help them reach your goal, making it down to the championship as least or as less expenses as they can possibly have to pay for on their own. Let's come together and help these anglers out. But like I said, lost a camera, unfortunately, but thank you all for tuning in tonight. This is your live unscripted episode number 6, where we bring you just unscripted talk all about bass fishing in and around West Virginia, and we all can learn and grow from experiences from other anglers. So thank you all for tuning in. Of course, get in on the giveaway, 2,000 page like giveaway from these fine partners in this event. Ridge Runner Rods. You can get repairs and custom builds done right here in Taste Valley, West Virginia. Dwight Walls, JT's Custom Jigs, spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, custom cranks. You name it, he can hook you up. And if you follow his page, you can see the success rate of these baits. Phenomenal. Also, Elevation Sports in Beckley, Andrew Hitchcock and crew. All your kayaking needs right there in Beckley. It is basically an ultimate hobby store. From your RC needs to kayaking and fishing needs, reach out to them. Bass Nation of West Virginia, which provided this opportunity for these anglers to compete and qualify for the national championship. We have a wonderful organization right here in West Virginia. Ken Hackworth, president, phenomenal group of board of directors, and of course youth and tournament directors as well. Thank you all for your support. And Great Outdoors Marine right there in Lavallette, West Virginia. Boats are starting to come back in post-COVID, so their stock is rocking. They got plenty of options for you. If you're looking for a new boat, reach out to them today. But thank you all for joining me. Like I said, this is your live unscripted episode. Lost the camera, but thanks for tuning in. And like I always say, we will see you on the water. You all have a great night.